Chris, just what did you see from your group, especially at the start, that set the tone and got you guys rolling the way that you did?
Our defense. Our defense was good, was on point. Certainly, we're able to kind of get out and play faster than we have been playing through the first 2 games of the series. Get some turnovers and some, emotional momentum plays early on, to kind of get us going. So,
What led to the Terrence decision, and just what do you think about the lift that he gave you?
I mean, it was awesome. Came in. I've been wrestling with getting another guy in the rotation. We played Jalen a little bit the other day. I just, a guy who can stretch the floor in transition. He's a downhill player. Got a good body. Physicality. We needed some physicality out there. Just kind of a different type of player than we have in other positions. So, we kind of knew coming into the game that we were going to get to him.
Ant obviously scored a lot in the first, but his defensive tenacity, the way he attacked the glass, just what did you think of the tone he seemed to set for the entire team?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we need him to do, and that's when he does it. It takes us to another level. I thought that's what was really, really big in the first quarter. He got a couple of those steals. He was all over the place. He knew that we needed that type of start from our defense, and he brought it. It was really, really good.
Coach, with the way that Terrence played and the fact that he had big minutes for you, can we see him play a bit more going forward? What could his role look like in Game 4?
Well, you're definitely going to see him more. You gotta. First thing is to be good in this league. You gotta keep doing what you've already just done. So we just want to see more of the same. But we know either way, whether the shots go in or he scores or doesn't score, he's going to bring energy and competitiveness. That's what we really love about him. So, yeah.
Coach, talk about Naz Reid getting back strong today.
Yeah, it was good for Naz to see some threes drop for him. I thought he played much more definitively and just confident. And, thought the only thing that kind of got in his way was a little bit of foul trouble. He's starting to get some momentum. But, he's been so important to us, and we need him. And, I thought he gave us another kind of gear, too, out there. So.
Chris, they came out of halftime an 11-2 run, and you guys called a timeout and then went 20-4 back. What was the key in that timeout to kind of reground, refocus things?
Just to, welcome to Minnesota. What was the question?
In the spirit of refocusing out of that, what was the key of refocusing out of halftime?
Oh, the timeout. Yeah, I mean, that was just it. It was refocus. We've had second half starts like that before when we've played really well in the first half. I just thought we were a little sloppy with our passing, a little loose with our defense. These guys came back from, 30-plus against Memphis just in this playoffs recently. They're an outstanding team. They're not going to quit. So we started giving up threes, which we didn't want to do at that point in time. And then we had an and one. So it was just a combination of both. Guys really refocused, came out and not just got back in the game, but grew the lead from beyond what it was at half. So all credit to those guys. So.
Even in the stretches where you played well in the first 2 games, you didn't kind of reach maybe this level where you just kind of thrashed them. Is there something psychologically for this team at this moment in the series that now you can accomplish this against this team?
First of all, shots went in today, and they hadn't gone in games 1 and 2, and that's just the nature of it sometimes. So, we don't feel psychologically disadvantaged when we step out on the floor. I don't know if that answers your question or not. So we just had to kind of keep finding a better game within ourselves. We hadn't really played our best basketball. All credit to them at times for affecting that. Tonight I think we just were able to put it all together and got to do it again. So.
Coach, it seemed like you guys were really aggressive, especially jumping passing lanes, getting deflections, especially early on. Was that a point of emphasis coming into tonight?
Well, we wanted to be the aggressor in everything. Yeah, absolutely. So, Guys knew what type of defense we can play. We don't feel that we've been playing it. We felt most of the series we've been on our heels defensively. I think that was a mindset switch that we realized. So guys, got aggressive, and that's what you need to do right now. So.
What did you guys do better and or differently against Gilgeous-Alexander tonight?
You want me to tell you?
He didn't have as good of a game.
I mean, we, like I said, we just were more aggressive everywhere. I thought we were a little cleaner around him with, didn't foul. Just our competitiveness was at all-time high. Like, he is a phenomenal player, man, and he's not going to have too many nights like this. So we feel fortunate for that, and we'll move on to Monday.
When you lose 2 games in the fashion that you lost the first 2 games, the confidence can be kind of shaken. Did you sense any of that, notice any of that? And if so, kind of to what Chris was saying, is that kind of an emotional boost moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, we have I didn't sense any loss of confidence from our team. I sensed frustration that we hadn't played well. I hadn't shot the ball well, but we were, like I said to you, pregame, we were happy with the shots that we were able to generate, in particularly game 2. And, I think we had 4 or 5 minute periods where in both games where they do what they do, which is turn you over at a high level and get into you, turn it into quick points at the other end of the floor. And, we were able to avoid that tonight, and that's really kind of what it came down to. So.
Chris, Julius didn't play down the stretch in the fourth in game 2, didn't play down the stretch in the fourth in certainly different circumstances tonight. What impressed you about the way he responded between games 2 and 3?
Yeah, I mean, Julius was awesome, and he and I chatted this morning, and as I said, hey man, like, you had one subpar game in the playoffs so far. It just happened to be the other night, and just we're moving on. I mean, the other day, it was nothing really about him or his play specifically. We were down. We had to try to change the complexion of the floor, and he got it. I think that's where our team has grown in its maturity. The game 1, it was Rudy. Game 2, it was him. We can't play them all, and he was fine with it. Of course, he wanted to play. But he also had played 32 minutes up to that point in time in the game, and of the 36 that were, available to that point. And, that team caught a little run, so I just kind of figured I'd ride it out, see how it went. And he totally understood that. But I was extremely proud of his response today. He got back to doing exactly what we needed him to do, which is not only, score and play make. He only had 3 assists, but he did a really good job of setting up a lot of things out there. So.
Coach, you think you got their attention tonight with this whipping?
I mean, listen, they're a great team. That I don't think that they have ever disrespected anybody or anything like that. So, it's one game win. It doesn't matter what the margin of victory is. They still have a 2-1 series lead. We got to come out and try to do it all over again on Monday. So.
Did you feel something different with Anthony Edwards? It felt like he was attacking a little bit more. I mean, that up and under in the second was incredible.
Yeah. I thought he started attacking a lot more in game 2. And I thought today was a pretty clean game for him in terms of understanding when to attack, when to get off of it. So, and this has been Ant's pattern. He's learning so fast and he's seeing so much. And, through the series that, whether it been the Lakers series or the Golden State series, like he's kind of really grown and felt what teams are trying to do, and kind of like rolled along with it. And just another example of you can feel him getting a little bit more comfortable out there with what he's trying to do. So,
Chris, on Ant, you have such a good feel for him from the end of game 2 and the off day heading into this one. Was there much dialogue? Did you just let him, figure out the
end of game 2?
From the end of game 2 to tonight, just what sense did you get from Ant heading into this one?
I mean, just, positivity. We talked about all the things we've been doing well. I said, just keep staying positive with your teammates, keep believing in them, keep feeding them. They'll knock down shots. He was fine. Ant's really resilient that way. Like he's always comes in a good mood, and he's always ready to go. And he was one of the most positive voices after game 2. In the locker room. So. The leadership that he has shown this season has come leaps and bounds. It's just another example of it. So.
Was the more aggressive defensive coverages, like in the pick and roll, Rudy playing higher up, do you think that helps Spark sometimes, like regaining that hit first defense?
Yeah, I think so. I think sometimes you just got to throw your fastball, and we were trying to do too much other junk out there at times. So, thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
That's what I looked at right when I came in.
TJ, just kind of when did you find out that you were going to be in the rotation tonight, and kind of what were the feelings coming into this one, knowing that you're going to get that shot?
Micah told me before the game, just be ready to start the second quarter. But it was just a normal feeling because I always work, always stay ready, and just be the best teammate I can be during the meantime. And when my name called, I do what I do.
I know you have an attack mentality, but was that the thinking just when you got in there to just go right at them the way that you did?
Yeah, just be myself. That's my game, attacking downhill, getting in the paint, and making open shots.
TJ, before the series, Ant talked about his relationship with you, about just how much he loves that you work and how much you've been working with C. Hines. What's your relationship with Ant?
It's my dog, man. We talk all the time, give each other feedback. And like you said, we both work. We both work hard, and we love the game. So we gelled right away when I got here.
Naz, were you beating yourself up from the Oklahoma City games? Kind of what was the big difference today?
Nah, I'll never beat myself up. I mean, especially being around Ant. You never really get down on yourself. I mean, games come and go. Great night will come. The next day you might have a bad night. You just got to try to find a way to be consistent. I think, I've been pretty consistent throughout the whole playoffs. And, to myself, I'm just, thinking like, they'll fall. Shots will fall. As long as I'm doing other things to stay on the court, that's all that matters.
And just what's the mentality now? Did you guys say anything in the locker room and going forward?
Yeah, and it's just the first step to the right direction. We got a lot more basketball to play, a lot more hard work to, accomplish. So I think, we're all, ready to do that. We got the win tonight. I got to try to carry this, this mentality and this aggression that we had tonight over to Monday.
Naz, how come you're the guy that gets called for the reach all the time and nobody else does? They've been slapping the fouls on you, man.
I wonder the same question. It happens, though. I mean, just got to try and, stay in the game, stay in the zone, stay locked in. Stuff happens. Refs aren't perfect. I'm not perfect. So, I mean, just trying, like I said, got to try and, be consistent, both parties.
Naz, you were visibly upset in Oklahoma early on, and you came in and really took care of business today. Was there like a process between Game 2 and Game 3? Was it music? Was it talking to yourself? Was it gathering around teammates? What was the difference between 1, 2, and then Game 3 for you?
Probably just the crowd. Not really anything different routine-wise. Just the crowd, probably. Having the crowd in your back pocket or whatever the case may be. Just having them support you, and then obviously your teammates supporting you. Me and TJ got a little joke that we got going on. It's like in the box, whatever the case may be. So just trying to stay focused, stay locked in, and stay dialed in on every aspect of the game.
TJ, how is it watching Ant from the bench and then coming into the game and then setting the tone like you did as well? Just what are you seeing from him, like as a mentor, obviously, and somebody that you're coming into like, hey, I want to do the same exact stuff. I want to get downhill. Are you reading the game before you go in? Like, what's the strategy from that side of it?
Honestly, just feed off their energy. Or if the energy is low, I just bring it. I got to read the game, obviously, but I feel like the way I play, the defense just got to adjust to me because I'm going so far down, going so fast and fearless downhill that they got to adjust. And if they crowd the paint, I'm going to kick it out. Or if they don't, I'm going to just score the ball.
TJ, you had 9 in that second quarter, 15 altogether. How is this game just a showing of your potential and what you can do for this team now and in the future?
I don't know, man. I just go out there and play my game. Happen to have a good night. We just gotta do it again. To help do whatever I can to help the team get another win.
TJ, I've got to ask you, playing at the Target Center, you blew it up during the Big Ten tournament. And do you almost feel like you kind of get like the Naz Reid treatment? Because people went nuts over you today.
Nah, don't nobody get the Naz Reid treatment. Nah, nobody get the Naz Reid treatment. He one of a kind, man. But, I mean, I got a good ovation from the crowd. But it's nothing like Naz Reid. But I appreciated that.
Naz, you know what it's like to be in TJ's position and trying to work his way in. Just what have you thought about how he's handled everything in his rookie season, then just to see him blow up tonight when he was needed?
It's crazy, man. You were once in the same situation, like you said, and I think he's handling it well. He's always ready. He's always, he's always up, and he's never like, and his feelings are down, never upset. He's always willing to be in the gym. He's like, I think he's excited when he's in the gym. So it's fun to see, especially like I said, when you got a younger guy who's in the same position that you were in. So I think, like I said, just watching him stay ready. They put on big performances like he did today in a big moment. It's fun to see, and you kind of get the chills because it's like, dang, I was really in that same situation, and kind of trying to coach him as much as possible. But I mean, his game speaks for itself. So,
TJ, at Illinois, you were kind of like the guy on offense where everything essentially flowed through you. What are some of the struggles that you've kind of gone through this year, pivoting into more of an inconsistent role player, but also in terms of minutes, but also being ready when your name is called to come out and have nights like tonight?
I ain't go through no struggles. I knew when I got drafted here, I got drafted to a good team. I knew I was gonna have to work my butt off to get in the rotation, or even to get minutes. So, like I said, I just walk in with a smile on my face every day, cheer these guys on, and be the best teammate I can be. And when my time comes, it comes. But, just taking advantage of each day, I feel like that's what you got to do. If you dwell on anything, like, you ain't going to get nowhere in life.
Naz, coming from Asbury Park and then playing at Roselle Catholic yourself, you've been around a lot of basketball, even in college and now the pros. Now playing in the playoffs, I'm curious, what was your earliest recollection being a fan of basketball and watching different series? Who did you enjoy watching?
It was crazy. I didn't watch basketball until I was probably like in college. I was a football player. I wanted to play football. So, but I mean, I think maybe when I first offered at UConn is when I kind of started taking it serious. I mean, I've always played basketball, but I didn't think it was going to be my primary sport. But yeah, I think maybe maybe my senior year when I kind of knew like I had a chance to really do something with the game of basketball. And then I think growing up, I always watched, like when I could, I always watched DeMarcus Cousins. He's a skill big. I was kind of heavy set at the time too, so he's kind of reminded me of him.
Naz, what's the mindset going in the game for? Obviously, you got the crowd behind you guys, but what do you have to do to mimic this performance you guys had tonight, defensively and offensively?
Stay consistent. Be consistent. That's the name of the game, consistency. I mean, however you can do it, be consistent. Whether it's getting dirty on the boards, diving on the floor, making shots, pressuring the ball, whatever the case may be, just being consistent. I think that's the biggest thing.
Julius, just what did you sense different tonight, especially in the first quarter, that really allowed you guys to set the tone that you did and get on top of them?
I mean, obviously we got off to a great start. Didn't turn the ball over, limited their runs. But I just think we came with the right intensity on the defensive end and sustained it, for pretty much a full 48 minutes.
And what did you think about the lift that TJ gave you coming in?
Huge for what he was able. We knew that we would need him this series, and Coach obviously has a lot of trust in him. So for him to be ready for his moment and come in and give us the lift he did, he brought a lot of energy to the game, intensity. He was just a huge boost for our team today. So super happy for him.
Julius, huge bounce back game. Coach Finch said he talked to you earlier. Just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on the conversation you guys had, but then also what you saw out there tonight that was different from game 2.
I mean, me and Finch been, through all the ups and downs this season. He knows who I am. I know who he is. Me as a competitor, obviously, I want to play and do anything I can to help our team win. And I know he trusts me to do that. You know, and I also know I trust him to do what's best for the team at all times. I know he doesn't have any ill intent. So, I mean, obviously, I want to play, but for me, it's about the bounce back. You know, how you come back the next game, and I just want to come out aggressive. It's not really that they did anything different or myself. I just want to be aggressive, and you know, try to do that throughout all the game.
Julius, in game 2, 6 points. Obviously, you got benched in that fourth quarter, but you bounced back in a big way here with 24 altogether. What can you say about your mindset coming into this game and how that was able to help you perform the way you did?
Yeah, I just want to be aggressive. I think that was just really what it was from the start. I just want to be aggressive.
Julius, I watched you pregame. You were all over the floor while you were listening to Young Jeezy. was that in the game plan? Was that somebody else's mix? Tell me.
Yeah, shout out Flight. We all, you know, will come with suggestions of what we want to listen to. Me, usually I'm like Drake or Nip, but you know, and I think C. Hines won the future, but it was a Jeezy kind of day, and I actually like that. I like that. I needed some Jeezy to get me going today, so yeah, it put me in the right mindset.
If I could follow up on that, what was the difference, I guess, musically between games 1 and 2 and then game 3? What was the difference in playlist, and what got you so lifted in game 3?
I just know I had to get it out the mud, so you know, he put on Jeezy, and it just got my mind right. So yeah, I mean, it really don't matter. I just knew I had to come out with the right mindset and just be aggressive. And yeah, shout out Flight. He got me going.
Julius, you had a moment where you said, like, we're at home now. And what were the emotions running through your head? Because you looked really passionate and fired up.
I just really wanted to feed off the energy from the crowd. Obviously, I love being home, but it don't matter where we at. You know, I'm going to try to approach the game the same way. But, I mean, the crowd, the home energy, just had me going today. It gave me a lot of juice. And, you know, I just want to feed off of that energy. I know our team feeds off of it. So, you know, I was just having fun out there.
Julius, how long after the shocking trade did it take you to say this is going to be okay?
Probably, I think I got to Minnesota 2 days later. So I think as soon as I got to Minnesota and just, you know, drove around the area, you know, ate some of the food, hung around some of the, you know, coaches and players, and, you know, just embracing a fresh new start. It happened pretty quick. I was excited.
Have you talked to any of your Knicks buddies during this final run here?
Have I talked to him? Yeah. I wouldn't tell you if I did.
Julius, you said your team pays attention to how your demeanor. Mm-hmm. You kind of probably had a choice on how your demeanor was going to be coming off that. Did you pay attention to the example that you set, even in the off day and this morning?
Yeah. I mean, I keep saying it, it's all about winning. And regardless, you know, as a competitor, you don't want to let your emotions overtake from what's best for the team. And I knew, obviously, as a competitor, I want to play, but it's all about the team. And I wanted to make sure that I came in, you know, the same, if it's a good day or a bad day. I think it's important for not just my teammates to see it, you know, young guys like TJ and Jalen and Rob and all those guys, just being a professional and understanding it's about the team. So as hard as it is, at times, you got to check your ego at the door. And that's what I tried to do, is check my ego. And I think it's beneficial for me because when I do that and I get myself lost in the team, I'm able to come back and play how I played tonight. So,
Julius, Dante's been struggling a little bit in the playoffs with his shot. Hit the first one tonight, finished 2 for 2. Just how impactful was that, watching that first shot of his going in?
It's great. It's great. We know how important Dante is for our team, and we got a lot of depth on this team. And you know, his moment can be any game. He can run off 8 threes in a game very quick, and he will. You know, so we don't know when that moment will be, but we know how impactful he is as a player, how important he is to our team. And it's more than just his shooting. It's what he does on the defensive end. It's him playing the right way, making an extra pass, you know, getting offensive rebounds, all the little things he does as well. So it's more than just his shooting, but he'll have one of those games. I'm not worried about it. I don't have any doubt.
Julius, when I look at your game, I've often felt like you need the ball in your hand in order to be effective, whether that's playmaking, whether that's scoring. And I've often compared it to kind of Anthony Mason during his time in the 90s. And when he was in Miami, he had an all-star year. When you play alongside Mike Conley as a point guard, how long was that adjustment process playing alongside of him? And how do you guys how are you guys just so complimentary off each other because you both are so effective to the rotation of that team?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Mace. He was ahead of his time. Really, really great player. Like I said, ahead of his time for sure with how he played. But, I mean, Mike is somebody who can play with anybody. He makes the game really easy. He's seamless. He's a seamless fit in any of the rotations that we have out there. He can play on the ball, off the ball. So the biggest thing for us is we learned each other's strengths and weaknesses and learn how to help each other out there. A lot of times, I mean, I want Mike to bring the ball up and have the ball in his hands. He's going to make the easy play, the right play. I know if I set a good screen, he's going to get me downhill in the pocket. Or if I get a switch, he's going to get to right space and let me have those ISOs when I need them. So, and he's always going to be in the right place when I have the ball. I know he can bail me out. If I get in the crowded paint, he's right there for catch and shoot threes. So he just makes the game easy for me, and I just try to always almost rely on that as like a safety valve because he's just seamless in everything he does. He's never in the way. He's great.
Julius, you talk about keeping your ego in check. Chris Finch was just talking about Ant, and he's seen a maturation process. You're just seeing him first time this year. What do you like most about him in terms of being positive, taking the leadership role, and being able to bounce back from the first two games as well?
I just think he's very in tune with his teammates and what's going on. As great of a player Ant is and what he does, how special he is on a night-to-night basis, he's like the definition of like selfless in that fact. So, I mean, just shortly after that game, he knows I'm hot. Like, I'm upset, not just because we lost, but I want to play well. And, I feel like I didn't help my team out at all. And, he was the first one. He seen me. And he like, bro, just shake back. You good. Like, don't worry about it. And, as the flight went on, I was able to, like, start smiling and laughing again. And, we playing cards and all that stuff. So he's very mature and very in tune with the team. And, as a leader of the team, you need that.
Julius, just talked to Mike Conley, and he said, the thing about a win like that is that now we know we can do it. Did the bar get raised tonight?
We ain't did nothing yet. We ain't did nothing. We won one game, protect the home court, did what we were supposed to do in that front, but we haven't done anything. They're a great team, so we got to go and do it again and play even better, play harder, because we know they're going to bring the next game. So good game, but we haven't done anything.
Julius, since you came back in March, do you feel health-wise this is the best you've been in a long time? I mean, you're playing every day. And
definitely. For sure. Been the last few frustrating seasons, knock on wood, end of the season, unhealthy and, having to have surgery and all those different type of things. So that's been a, pretty, important focus throughout the season of keeping my body healthy and the things I need to do. So it feels great. Just got to keep with it. Yep.